friends, welcome to my channel Lemon Coaching Center. So today I'm going to explain you what that is your 7th standard science first chapter nutrition in plants. So in your lower classes you have learnt about carbohydrate, protein, fats, vitamins, minerals and many other components of food you have learnt in your lower classes. But these components of food, they are necessary for our body, and these components which mixture is called as nutrient. So all living organism, it requires food for living. So plants can make their food themselves through photosynthesis, but animals include humans cannot. So plants make their food by help of photosynthesis, and animals also include in that process. Animals also eat some plants, but human cannot prepare their food there by themselves, so they get it from some plants or animals that eat plants, animals that eat plants. And thus humans and animals are directly or indirectly both are dependent on plants only. Next is mode of nutrition in plants. So how plants get nutrition? So plants are the only organism that can prepare food for themselves by using water, carbon dioxide, minerals and the raw material are present in their surrounding, and the raw materials are present in the surrounding of the plants they use and prepare the food. So the nutrients that are unable for living organism for building their body, to growth of that organism, to repair the damaged parts of their body and provide the energy to their for their life process, for this food is necessary. So nutrients is necessary and food is necessary. So nutrition is the mode of taking food by an organism, and its utilization is done by our body. The mode of nutrition in which organism makes food by themselves from simple substances called autotrophic. Autotrophic means self preparation of nutrition. Therefore plants are called autotrophs because they prepare food by themselves only. Animals and most other organisms, including our human beings, we depend upon the plants for food. So therefore we are called as heterotrophs, means we dependent on others. We need other plants and others for making food. So photosynthesis food making process in plants. So leaves, they are the food factors, food factors of plants that prepare the food for the plants. The synthesis of food in the plants occurs in leaves. So the synthesis of food occurs in the leaves of the plant. Therefore all the raw material must reach there. So all the raw material must reach there for preparation of the food. Water and mineral present in the soil, they are absorbed by the roots of the plants and sent to the place food occurs. Synthesis of food occur, transportation transported to the leaves. So what happens, the soil and minerals are absorbed by the roots, and it sends the minerals to the food, water and minerals for preparation of food to the leaves. And then carbon dioxide from the air is taken out by the stomatal pores present in the surface of the leaves, and that pores are surrounded by guard cells, and that spores, which pores we call, it is called stomata, and that takes the carbon dioxide present in our surrounding or in the surrounding or in the air. So water and minerals, they are transported to the leaves by vessels that are like pipe from root to the leaves, root to the stem, the branches, the leaves. They are like vessels, pipes. So they form a continuous path. The vessels, like they are like a continuous path or passage for the nutrition. They are like a continuous path, and they are for the passage of the nutrition to the passage of nutrition to the leaf. So you learn more about this in your chapter 11, how the plant sends its food to the leaves and how it prepares the leaves. Now, after the leaves take that food, the leaves that have a green color pigment you may see in the leaves, so that is called as chlorophyll. That helps the plants, it helps to capture the energy from the sunlight, and this energy is synthesized, it is prepared for making of food by using carbon dioxide and water. And since the synthesis of food is occurred in the presence of light, so that's why it is called as photosynthesis. Means it has light. Photo means light, the energy sunlight which you observe, sunlight, and synthesis means preparation of the food. So by this combination of photo, light and synthesis, it is called as photo means light, synthesis it is called as to combine, so it is called as photosynthesis. So we find that chlorophyll, sunlight, carbon dioxide and water, they are very much necessary for the process of photosynthesis. So it is a unique process on the earth. So the photosynthesis, it is a unique process on the earth, and the solar energy is captured by the leaves and stored in the plant. So in the absence of photosynthesis, you will not be able to see any food prepared by plants. So the survival of almost all living organisms, it directly or indirectly depends upon the food that we get from the plant. Beside oxygen, which is essential, the oxygen that is essential for survival of all living organisms, that is also produced by photosynthesis in plants. In the absence of photosynthesis, life is not possible. Life would be impossible on the earth. In photosynthesis, chlorophyll containing cells of leaves. So chlorophyll containing cells of leaves, like you can see in 1.2. In okay, wait 1 minute. In the presence of sunlight, in this 1.2 here you can see, in the presence of sunlight, we use carbon dioxide and water for synthesis carbohydrates, and the process can be written in the equation as carbon dioxide plus water gives carbohydrate plus oxygen. So water, it involves sunlight and chlorophyll. So chlorophyll is this, it has card cells, stoma, it is tomato you can see here. So here diagram showing the photosynthesis process. During the process photosynthesis process, oxygen is released. During the process of photosynthesis, oxygen is released, and the carbohydrates ultimately get the carbohydrates that we get ultimately that the plant get ultimately be converted into starch. And the presence of starch in the leaves, it indicates that photosynthesis is happening in the plants, and the starch it is also one type of carbohydrate. So now activity 1. Take two potted plants of same kind. Keep one in the dark for 72 hours and the other in the sunlight. Perform iodine test with the leaves of both the plants as you did in class 6th. Record your results. Now leave the pot which was earlier kept in the dark in the sunlight for 3 to 4 days and perform the iodine test again on the same leaf that you take. So after seeing that, you have to record what all observation you have took. So the leaves you see other than green also have, the leaves have some of the chlorophyll. It will be converted into large amount of red, brown and other pigments like green color also. Photosynthesis takes place in these leaves, also in these leaves, in the other leaves like red, brown and other green leaves, green color, and other leaves also take, here you can see photosynthesis have. You often see slimy green patches in the ponds or in other stagnant water bodies. These are generally formed by the growth of organisms that is called algae that is present in that organism and it grows. So why algae are green in color? So it is because it contains chlorophyll that gives them green color. Algae can also be prepare their own food by algae can prepare their food by by photosynthesis only. Synthesis of plant food other than carbohydrate. So you have just learned that synthesis of carbohydrate through process of photosynthesis you have learned. The carbohydrates that are made of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. These are used to synthesize other components of food like proteins and fats. But proteins are nitrogenous substance that contains nitrogen. From where do you think the plant gets nitrogen? So recall that nitrogen is present in abundance it is present in the gaseous form in the air. It is present in the gaseous form. However, plant cannot absorb nitrogen in this gaseous form. So soil has certain bacteria that is in the form soil has certain bacteria that converts that gaseous nitrogen into usable form and then it gets released into the soil, and these soluble forms are then is absorbed by plants along the water. And also you might have seen farmers adding some fertilizers rich in nitrogen to soil. In this way the plant fulfill their requirement of nitrogen along with some other components. Plants can then synthesize components of food other than carbohydrates like protein and fats. Next, other modes of nutrition is in plant. There are some plants which do not have chlorophyll. They cannot synthesize their food. They cannot prepare their food. So how do these plants survive and from where do they take their nutrition? Like we human and animals depend on plants for food. They use a heterogeneous mode of nutrition like in 1.5 image 1.5 it is you can see it is Ruscota, that is umberbell on host plant. So as you can see you in that picture do you see yellow tubular structure twinning around the stem? Around the stem you can see yellow tubular structure. So and branches of the tree. This plant is called it is Cuscada. Its name is Cuscada. It does not have chlorophyll. It does not have. It takes ready-made food from the plant. From the plants, this from the it takes ready-made food from the plants, and on which it is climbing. On which you can see small plants, on which on the branch where the plants are there. From there it will take the energy means food what it needs. On which it climbs is called the host. The plant on which the it climbs is called as host, and since it deprives the host of valuable nutrients, since it has some loss of valuable nutrients, it is called parasite. And or we and other animals also parasites on the plants. So thinking on that, have you ever seen or heard of plants that can eat animals? No, you have not. There are few plants which can trap insects and digest inside them. You have heard this, and it is not amazing. Such plants may be green or of some other colors. But let us look at the plant in the figure 1.6. It is the picture plant showing leaf and pitcher. So picture structure is modified part, and it is the modified part of the plant leaf, and the apex of the leaf forms a lid. It forms a lid in the plant which can open and close their mouth. Which can help to open and close their pitcher mouth of that pitcher. And inside the pitcher you can see hair which are directly the hair that are downward. When an insect lands in that picture, the lid it closes and the trap and it traps the insect into that air, and the insect then it is digested by its digestive juice that is secreted in the pitcher, and such insect eating these plants are called as insectivorous plants. So next is saprotrops. You might have seen some of the packets of mushroom that are sold in the vegetable market. You may have also seen fluffy umbrella-like patches growing on rooting wood during the rainy season. So let us find out what all the type of nutrients they need to survive and from where do they get grow. So like an activity, you take a piece of bread and moisten it with water. Leave it in a moist warm place for 2 to 3 days or until fluffy patches appears on them. Leave it till that, as in figure 1.8 you can see. Till there you will eat that bread, and these patches may be white, green, brown or of any other color. Then observe the patches under the microscope or under any magnifying glass. So what all the observation you see, write in your notebook. Most probably you will see cotton-like thread spread on the piece of bread, and these organisms are called fungi. So they have a different mode of nutrition. The fungi have different mode of nutrition. They have some of the digestive juice on that they secrete the digestive juices and that are present on the dead and decay matters, and then it convert into a solution. And this mode of nutrition in which organism takes their nutrients in solution form from its dead and decaying matter is called as saprotropic nutrition. And plant which use saprotropic mode of nutrition, they are called as saprotropes. So fungi also grow on the pickles, leather, cloths and other articles that are left in hot and humid weather. On that you can see the growth of the fungi. Now another example is during the rainy season. They spoil many things. During the rainy season the fungi may spoil many things. So ask your parents about the millions of fungi in your house. You may see fungi have spoiled some food. Ask your parents. So the fungal spores are generally it is present in the air. When they land on wet and warm things, they germinate and then it starts to grow. Now can you figure out how we can protect our things from getting spoiled by the from that fungi? Some organisms live together and share shelter and nutrients, and this is called as the symbiotic relationship. Like example, so like certain fungi that lives in the roots of trees or the trees that provide them nutrition to the fungus, and in return they take some of the help from it for like they take water and nutrients from the soil from them. This association is very important for the trees. In organism that is called as lichens, a chlorophyll containing partner which is an algae and a fungus that lives it together them, and these fungus provide shelter, water and minerals for the algae, and in return the algae provides food which it prepared by photosynthesis. How nutrients are replenished in the soil. So you learned that plants absorb minerals, nutrients from the soil. Till now you learned. So their amounts in the soil keep on declining. So their amounts on in the soil keeps on declining. Fertilizer and manure, it contain plant nutrients like nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, etc. But these nutrients, it need to be added from time to time. For time to time, it need to be added to the plants so that it can enrich the soil. It can help for the growth of the soil. So we can grow plant and keep them healthy. We can grow the plants and keep them healthy if we can fulfill the nutrients that are required for plants. Usually crops, it require a lot of nitrogen so that to make the proteins. After the harvest, the soil become very much deficient in nitrogen. So you learn that through nitrogen gas is available in plenty, very much plenty in the air. Plants cannot use it in the manner they can use that carbon dioxide, but they need nitrogen for soluble form. And the bacterium that is called as rhizobium, it will take the nitrogen, atmospheric nitrogen, and then it convert into a soluble form. But this bacterium rhizobium cannot make its own, it does not make its own food, so it lives in the roots of gram, peas, moong, beans, and other legumes, and then it provides them with it provides nitrogen to the plants, and it takes the energy what it needs from the plant. Most of the pulses like dals are obtained from leguminous plants, and in return the plant provide food and shelter to the bacteria, and they thus have a symbiotic relationship, and this association is of a great significance for the farmers. They do not need to add nitrogen fertilizer to the soil in which the leguminous plants are grown. So in this chapter you learned that most of the plants are autotrophs. Only a few plants adopt other modes of nutrients like parasites and saprophytes, and they derive nutrition from other organisms, and all the animals are categorized as heterotrophs since they depends on plants and other animals for their food. So these all the information you learned in this chapter, and here you can see some of the questions asked from this chapter. So okay friends, I think you have understand your chapter, the nutrition in plants. So okay friends, if you like my video, please give a like. How was my video? Please give a comment and subscribe my channel in coaching center for more video. I will see you in my next video explain chapter. Till then, take care, have a nice day, bye my dear friends.